Good evening and thank you for joining us, Aaron. Pretty good weekend for the local hockey club there and shaping up to be a pretty good season so far, actually.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I went to both games over the weekend. It seems like they're really cruising right now. They have everything going, playing really confident hockey. They're 5-0, or they have 5-game winning streak rather, and I will have a recap of the weekend against Grand Prairie coming up in sports.
We'll look forward to that. Gerard, what about the weather? It was definitely a pretty nice weekend. It was sunny, at least for the most part.
Yeah, sunny, blue skies generally for the most part. We're going to get some more of that, but the temperatures are getting softer, as you can see. Just 14 today. The wind not blowing that strong, really, just in the teens. Sometimes northeast as well for that northeast. 45% is that humidity, just some cloud cover to deal with, but it's eased off as the day is going along. It's a similar story in the Lakeland area, Cold Lake area for sure. Mainly cloudy kind of day, and for the Battleford, started off with some foggy patches as well, but it cleared off nicely to get some blue skies for that 13 Celsius. We'll talk about how it's going to develop a bit more in the second segment.
It's going to be tough getting in and out of the east end of town for the next little while. This afternoon, a semi-truck hit the CP rail overpass, and shortly after, it collapsed. Here's the scene of the crash just minutes after it happened. Luckily, nobody was injured.
I think the driver's shaken up, and certainly there's a lot of cleanup that's going to have to be done.
Traffic on both sides of the highway is closed until further notice. People are being asked to find alternate routes to get in and out of the city. Around 9:45 this morning, emergency crews responded to a fire on 50th Avenue and 51st Street. A semi-truck burst into flames, emitting plumes of smoke into the air. Fire crews quickly got the blaze under control and spent the remainder of the morning putting out hot spots on the vehicle. Luckily, again, no one was injured in this incident. You may have noticed an increased police presence in and around the border city over the last few days. That's because the Lloydminster RCMP conducted what they call a traffic blitz. Jack Haskins spoke with the RCMP today and tells us why the crackdown was ordered.
From impaired driving to broken taillights, the RCMP across the country were busting people left, right, and center over the Thanksgiving weekend.
What it is, it's called Operation Impact, and it's a 4-day national traffic safety operation plan where we work collaboratively with the municipal, provincial, and federal police agencies such as the RCMP.
During a blitz, the increased police presence alone can be enough to prevent people from making poor driving decisions.
When we do a blitz, quote unquote, what we're doing is we will grab members from the detachment and from the traffic unit, and we set up short, effective check stops in multiple locations throughout the city to have the best visibility and to have the most impact.
These campaigns give the police a solid picture of what the major traffic-related problems are.
We want to stop the impaired drivers and the dangerous drivers. We have to slow them down. We have to stop them. Anyone who's been a victim, directly or indirectly, of a dangerous driver or an impaired driver, they understand the significance and the important impact why we're doing this.
According to the RCMP, there were approximately 70 tickets handed out in Lloydminster throughout the 4-day blitz. Jack Haskins, Newcap News.
The Cold Lake and Bonnyville RCMP detachments are working together on an investigation of stolen vehicles. Over the past 3 weeks, around a dozen motorists have had their vehicles stolen. As Clayton Brown explains, another car was found in a lake this weekend, and RCMP are telling drivers to keep close tabs on their rides.
Somewhere between 10 to 15 vehicles have gone missing over the past few weeks between Bonnyville and Cold Lake. RCMP say the thieves seem to be targeting newer vehicles.
They're basically taking them and they're driving them, and we're usually finding them stripped down or severely damaged. So it's basically a joyriding situation, but it becomes a very major financial hit for most people.
Police believe all the cases are linked and are advising drivers to be vigilant when leaving a vehicle unattended.
Park them in well-lit areas. Don't leave them parked in alleys where there's very little light. And be very cognizant of what's around. If you hear something suspicious, make sure and call the RCMP immediately.
Jason Charbonneau is the manager of Install Bay, a security system retailer in Bonnyville. He says technology has come a long way, and you can now buy a system which runs through your smartphone and can track your car on GPS.
I can be across the country, and if something happens to my car here, it would actually notify me there. So it could take the proper action, phone the police, get a buddy to check on it, things like that.
Jason says although the security systems and new technology are a good deterrent, it doesn't mean that your car will never be broken into.
Any security system out there is only a deterrent. It's not a surefire protection. Don't leave your laptop. Don't leave your cell phone. Don't leave anything that somebody peeking through that window is going to have the incentive to try to break in.
In Bonnyville, Clayton Brown, New Cap News.